Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wright State Spotlight for the Ross Soin College of Business. My name is Lucas Abramowitz. I work in the Undergraduate Admissions Office here at Wright State University. I want to thank everyone who is attending tonight, both our students and our panelists. We're so excited to have you here with us to learn some more about the College of Business. I'm going to hand it on over to the Dean of the college, Dr. Tom Trainer, and he has a few words of welcome for you as well.
Tom, please remember to unmute.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Tom Trainer. I'm the Dean of the Ross Soin College of Business. And welcome to our spotlight, and I want to thank you for taking time to join us today. I'm just going to start out with a minute or two of a description of why I think we have an outstanding business school and that we'd be a great choice for you to choose for your studies in business as you think about where you want to attend. We really do have an outstanding business school as reported by many independent organizations. We're fully accredited by AACSB, which is the leading organization that accredits business schools worldwide. Fewer than a third of all business schools in the United States and fewer than 10% of all business schools worldwide have that accreditation. We're also accredited by ABET for our MIS program, which is primarily an engineering and computer science accreditation. And there are really only very few business schools in the United States that have that accreditation. We're recognized as a best business school by U.S. News and World Report. We're recognized as a best business school by Princeton Review. We're the only one in the Dayton area with that particular accommodation. The things that I would really want to stress that I think make our business school really an outstanding choice is our outstanding faculty. They're very well prepared to teach their courses. They're active researchers, active in research in their fields of taking responsibility. And that really keeps them up to date, let alone the contributions they're making to the body of research in the world. But they're particularly friendly and accessible. Students who transfer to our business school from other schools report that they find our faculty to be very friendly and approachable and easy to work with. Our faculty are very dedicated to Wright State's mission of working closely with students and ensuring students are very well prepared for their careers. So I would assure you that you'll be extremely well prepared for your career upon graduation. On top of that, we are better connected than any other school with all the major employers in the Dayton area, and we're one of the most connected in the Cincinnati and Columbus areas. So if you plan to work in the region after you graduate, I think the job opportunities for you will be outstanding. There really aren't any companies that hire great numbers of business administration folks who don't regularly hire Wright State people and don't regularly look to us for their workforce needs. Lastly, I want to point out that you will enjoy your time at Wright State. We have a lot of, in addition to our classes, we have a lot of clubs and great activities that we run throughout the year. And I think students who take advantage of those really find that we're a great place to be. It's fun to be in our business school and enjoyable to be involved in those sorts of activities. Now I want to pass the baton on to Dr. Shu Schiller, our Associate Dean, who will make a quick presentation about our school.
Thank you, Tom. Let me share my slide. All right. You can see that, right, Lucas?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So my name is Shu Schiller. I'm the Associate Dean of the college. So today I'm really happy to share some highlights of the college in this very short presentation. The link to the PowerPoint slide is also posted in the chat window. So if you want to download that, you can do it now. I also want to point out that hopefully you'll be able to ask a lot of questions. We have a great team here tonight. We have staff members, faculty, students, so feel free to ask a question. On this screen, you can see a section of, this is our campus of Wright State Dayton campus, and you see the academic section of this campus. And I'm not sure if you have visited our campus before, but if you have not, there is a virtual tour that you can find on the website. And Wright Hall, by the way, if you take the virtual tour, Wright Hall is stop number 5 on the tour. And this is the home to about 2,000 business students. So make sure you check it out. You can also watch a video of Dean Trainer talking about the college while you take the tour. So like Dean Trainer mentioned, it is really important for us to recognize how dedicated the college is about reaching and achieving the excellence of our education. So for instance, Dean Trainer mentioned the external validations, and these are largely recognized by accreditations, international and nationally. For instance, AACSB is the most well-known accreditation body for business schools. For Redstone College of Business, we have had this accreditation since 1974. In addition to that, our accounting program is also included in the AACSB accountancy program accreditation. And this is a very high level of recognition. This is only obtained by about top 5% of all the business schools worldwide. So as you can see in this middle section, that the college is very uniquely identified and recognized by 3 top agencies, right? AACSB accreditation, U.S. News and World Report also names us the best business school business program, and the Princeton Review names us the best business school as well. So we are indeed the only one in the region that holds a combination of those 3 external validations. The ABET accreditation is more often seen for engineering programs, and the college is very proud to have this ABET accreditation for our Management Information System program. And we were the first one in the state of Ohio to have this accreditation for MI's program in the business college. So altogether, these are assurance of the excellence of education experiences and outcomes that you're going to achieve when you study here with the college. So what majors are you thinking, right? You may be wondering about the specific business domains that you want to study. The college offers about a dozen different majors, and from the traditional areas, accounting, finance, marketing, so forth, to some of the more modern business domains such as business analytics, entrepreneurship, and so forth. So I do want to encourage you to spend some time on our website, business.wright.edu. And on the website, for the majors that you're interested in, you can find admission requirements, you can find courses, planning, you can find also career opportunities, for instance, for the majors that you are looking for. There's really a lot of great resources and information on our website. By the way, let me just point out, you can also call the main office line, and we have dedicated staff members answering the phone calls, and feel free to ask the questions and talk to someone so you can be directed to the right place. And the college, of course, is very dedicated to business education through the majors as well as minors and certificate programs. If you choose to major in an area that's outside the business domain, I want to emphasize that business minors can give you a very comprehensive view of the essentials of business concepts and theories and applications. So for our business minors, some of the most popular students studying the majors, and we see science majors, engineering majors, nursing majors, and liberal arts majors, and these students tend to take business minors in addition to their major study. The college also offers a number of undergraduate certificate programs. Business analytics, for example, was most recently added. We also have economics issues, human resource management, and these are wonderful options to be added on to your major studies. So we really do believe that it doesn't matter your area of background or area of study, everybody needs a little bit of business. So let me talk a little bit about experiential learning. So this is a very important to our college's mission, and the college have invested a lot of great amount of resources to help students gain real world experiences. Many of our business students before we graduate, many of them have had opportunities working on projects or internships with local businesses. And many of these are being done with very well-known companies, for example, Speedway, CareSource, Scene 75, Ronalds and Ronalds, and there's more to add to the list. And give you some perspective, most of the accounting students, right, would have finished their internship by the time they graduate. And for economics students, about 2/3 of economics majors would have finished in a sort of internship experience by the end of junior year. And in many other majors, I know marketing, information systems, supply chain management, human resource management, many other majors will have a capstone class, and that is required before students graduate. So all of these are great opportunities for you to gain real-world experiences through the years that you are studying at the college. What you see on this slide are 4 signature spaces that we have in Wright Hall, the home of college business. The Wright Cafe was established in fall 2015, and it's completely run and managed by our business students. So they do the hiring, they do the marketing plan, they manage all the business operations. And I'm very proud to report that in this just past academic year, I believe the Wright Cafe was able to open for a little bit over 6 months till mid-March. And the Wright Cafe has generated over 13,000 profit from the business operations. And we're really proud of the students and their leadership leading this real business. And the earning of the profit goes to student scholarship funds to continue to help students with their business education. So the other one I want to mention is Dave Lab. So I talked about the business analytics briefly. Dave Lab is a very special, dedicated, unique space in Wright Hall. We manage our own facilities, including the servers that you can see a little bit from the picture, a very giant screen wall, and students learn hands-on with the Tableau, with visualizations, with Hadoop, with big data, with servers and clusters, with SaaS software and so forth. So this special space provides applications to software and draw connections between students and the projects that they can practice and learn, supported by real business and sponsors. So the third one I want to mention is the Career Management Center. The Career Center is, I believe, the most recent new space that we opened in the Wright Hall. So this was opened last year in fall 2019, and it features a large conference room and 2 smaller interview rooms. It's completely equipped with video, audio, teleconferencing, as well as recording capabilities. And I want to point out that Joyce Winters, she is our career consultant for the college, and she's on the call. And she is a staff member who leads the planning, operations, and activities of the Career Center. We firmly believe that every business student needs to start the career preparation, right, as soon as you come to the college, from freshmen to seniors. And the center provides various types of activities and events to help students to get ready for career success. So the fourth one on the slide you can see is called a trading room. And this trading room is featured a very professional software called Bloomberg software. And the finance students primarily use this lab space and to learn and practice financial planning and investment. So I do want to point out that our finance students manage a real portfolio of investment with real money, right, and real clients. And I believe the total amount of that portfolio is about $1.8 million. And so we also have our faculty member, Brandon, here with us. So if you want to ask more questions about finance, so feel free to do so. Let me move on to, this is my last slide, and I want to talk about some of the unique values. The college is really proud of these support systems and infrastructures that we have for our students. On the academic side, right? So these are the things constantly talked about by our students. These are the things we learn from student surveys and so forth. Students love the interactions with faculty members. They're not just only in the classroom, they go way beyond the classroom. Hopefully you can hear more from Rachel, our management professor, and others as well. Professors not only just teach in the classroom, but they help you with the networking, with your development and growth throughout the time that you are here at the college. We also have a team of very professional academic advisors. I know tonight Jessica is here with us, and they are dedicated to help every single student with your class planning, with your planning of graduation and so forth. And they are really at the front line to give you the most help that you will need throughout the years. The college also provides tutoring services for many of the business introduction classes. And these, of course, are free services we provide. And the Dean Student Advisory Board, and I know Riley, the president, is here tonight as well. The advisory board has a very, very wonderful program that's called peer mentoring and has been running for over a year now. And that can be another resource to help students to be successful in and outside the classroom. So on the career preparation side, I mentioned a little bit about career advising and the new career center. So the college really is trying to draw the connections between students and through internships, job placement, and so forth. And in addition to all of these career preparations, another way to grow professionally is to participate through events, activities, and many of these are organized by student clubs, by student organizations, and many of our business students emerge truly as the leaders on campus and in our local communities. So I really want to encourage you to look into these opportunities, talking to other students, talking to the student leaders in the college. Let me just lastly point out two very unique events organized by the college. The first one is in every springtime, about January or February, the college hosts a high school scholarship challenge event where we have high school students come to the college, participate through a series of interview and other activities and earn scholarship money. So make sure that you make note of that opportunity. Professional Business Institute is a summer camp, and that's designed for high school students as well. Because of the COVID-19 situation, we're not able to do that this year, but we have been doing this since 2014, and we will continue PBI next year on campus. So these are some of the highlights, I shall say, of the college through this very brief presentation. So let me end my presentation, and I would encourage you to ask as many questions as you have. And we have a great team here tonight with us. Thanks.
Thank you, Sue. So I just want to, again, thank everyone for joining us this evening and sort of transition us to the next part of our event this evening. So it is a time for you to ask questions of our panelists tonight. So there's two ways you can submit a question. There's a chat dialog box, and it'll look like a chat bubble on your screen. If you click that, it'll open up that dialog box, and you can submit your question in there. There's also a Q&A dialog box as well. If you submit a question, we'll see that and be able to answer it for you. And like Sue said, that this is an amazing group of folks who are faculty, staff, advising, students that are all here to serve you and answer questions and talk about the great opportunities available to you if you attend Wright State University. So I'm going to start with our first question here. And I want to start with Jessica in academic advising. For students who are thinking about majoring in the College of Business and want to know the degree requirements, can you explain the advising aspect and how you help students through the different majors available?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much. And we're definitely welcome to have everyone here tonight. But basically, so what you would need to do, so if you have prior credit from any other institution, you would want to email that to an academic advisor. And to find the academic advisors, you would actually go on the website and see which major you are interested in, and then email it to that specific advisor. So every major has a specific advisor that handles everyone in that major. So you would email the unofficial transcript, and then we as advisors would go over that, and we could do that through an appointment, or we could do that through email, whichever is most convenient for the student. But we would be able to go over what credit would be directly equivalent. So some, if you're coming from Sinclair, those might already be in the system for us to be able to say, yes, that it comes over as our English 1100 course. But if it's not in the system and you're coming from somewhere who doesn't necessarily hasn't been evaluated yet, you would be able to have that evaluated by the syllabi. So we would collect the syllabi from the class that you had taken at the other institution, and we would be able to send that directly to the department. The department would say, yes, that matches, yes or no, if that matches the credit that we have here, and then we would be able to do that. And then that would be in place for any other student that came from that institution. So you would be helping other students as well by doing that.
And for a first-year student who doesn't have any transfer credit at all,
Yeah.
Can you explain the process they go through with their program mapping?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're coming, you don't have any prior credit, which is perfectly fine. You would just set up an appointment with an academic advisor, and you can do that by calling our number to make an appointment. So it's the main number for the College of Business, and you would be able to set up an appointment, and we would go over the course requirements for the College of Business.
Great. Joyce, I'm going to turn to you with a question on the career advising aspect. So students, they've chosen their major or they have an idea of wanting to work in business. Can you give students perspective on how your office helps them with navigating the career and internship process? I'm going to unmute you. There we go.
Okay. I mean, we have a multitude of approaches for assisting students, depending upon the unique needs of each student. But we have an all-encompassing wide array of resources that we have drawn upon. Initially, we can work with students in groups, such we offer workshops on preparing for your specific career. If you're not sure about which major or what you want to do with that major, we have a number of ways of helping you research that and working with you on that process. We have inventories. We have research that's been presented to us by the Ohio Board of Labor Statistics. So you can find out what you can do in different career fields, what kind of employers are hiring, what strategies you need for those particular career paths to be successful and have an edge over other applicants. We also work very closely. We're very fortunate to have a really great partnership with local businesses and corporations, and they've just been amazing about contacting our office and letting us know, that they're interested in recruiting students for particular internships or opportunities that may come up. So we just that networking is really strong in the College of Business, and it's been a huge help in making a smooth pathway for students to find those opportunities. And again, they can attend our workshops. I'm putting some things online for students that may not be able to attend a workshop that I'm offering face-to-face because they need to have other class conflicts, or they're not comfortable in a face-to-face environment yet. Although I can assure you, when we are offering them face-to-face on campus, we're going to be following social distancing and cleaning and all that kind of thing. But there'll be options for students. And then there's always, my favorite way is one-on-one with any student that wants to meet with me in person, virtually, phone calls, emails, just a wide range of resources that are available to the students, and I'm anxious to help them.
Awesome. Thank you, Joyce. Riley, we have a question for you about the student life aspect. So what does a day in the life as a business student look like in general for a student at Wright State? And if you could, or if anyone in the group could answer specifically as a marketing major student. So the question is from a marketing major.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I'm not a marketing major. I do work in marketing though, so I can maybe kind of chime in on that. But a day in the life, kind of from my perspective as a student, typically depending on when your classes start. So most college students, you don't want to take the 8 a.m. because that's way too early. So you'll start out around like 9:30, 11. Get your good beauty sleep. Typically at the College of Business, I always start off. I go to Ray and I'll get some coffee or something along those lines. And then you usually go to class. I mean, and the classes at the College of Business are really good, really interactive. So you get to go to class, you learn from your typical major. From a marketing perspective, I mean, it's really kind of the same in the beginning of college. So as a freshman, you're all taking kind of the same courses. You're taking your introductory level business courses and your general education courses for Wright State Core. So in terms of being a freshman at Wright State, it's going to be kind of the same in the beginning. In terms of course load, and then once you get into your like upper level courses junior, senior year, then you'll kind of jump into those upper level marketing courses. So in the beginning, it's going to be kind of a prototypical just business student at that point, and you'll probably find your comfort zone in Wright Hall, and then eventually you just go to classes and then kind of make friends and enjoy college is the best way I would say the day in the life of a business student would be. So yeah, that's how I would describe it.
Awesome. For our faculty members, what perspective do you have for students that you interact with? Tips that they should think about studying, making the day in the life of a student better. What is your perspective as the teachers and instructors?
That's a great question. We weren't prepared for this one in advance, so let's see. Students have told me just to try new things. Something that scares you or something that excites you. You definitely, as she was mentioning before, tons of great activities and events, ways to get involved. I mean, we have networking events and, speakers that come and talk outside the Ray Cafe. Lots of cool things, from 5 to 6. Even if you don't want to be part of a club, you can show up to these one-time things. And I think that's a really great opportunity. You get to meet people from the community. You get to interact with the faculty that show up, the other students that are there. So that's what I would encourage you. Once a semester, I would try something new, something different. And also, I would be sure to introduce yourself to at least one faculty member that you click with. As faculty, every year I get emails about upcoming or internship opportunities or, this one-time great job opportunity or something. So the more that you connect with us, we see your face, we know your name, we know your interests. It doesn't even have to be school related. Just come talk to us for a few minutes, introduce yourself. What do you like to do? All of that is really great. I remember I was talking with a student. This was funny, and we bumped into President Edwards outside. And he's a non-traditional student, and he just has great ideas. So I introduced him to the president, but I didn't tell him it was the president. And then he just opened up and shared all these great insights. And, oh, this is my life story. And it was great. Our president is phenomenal, just such a great person to talk to. And then we walked away. He was like, oh, who was that? I was like, oh, that's the president of the university. He was like, what? You didn't tell me? And I was like, no, I just wanted you to, act natural. Just talk to her without being scared or anything. So that's what I would say. Get involved, talk to people, get out of your comfort zone, and we're here to help. So you can always reach out to any one of us on this call specifically if you have any questions.
Yeah, so this is Jessica again. I'm so sorry if I interrupt anyone that was going to jump in, but so I actually advise marketing students, and they are almost all of my marketing students are really, really involved with the American Marketing Association that is on campus. So they're recognized nationally. They go to New Orleans. I think almost every year, and we always come home with an award. Like, I don't remember working as an advisor that we didn't come home with an award. So getting involved on that, in that organization, I think is a great opportunity for a marketing student. But then just within the College of Business as well, almost for every major, there is also a club associated. So if you're like, maybe I'm a marketing student, but I'm really interested in entrepreneurship as well, there's an entrepreneurship club that people can join just to have a little bit of experience and also a great networking opportunity as well.
So the follow-up question about that club, and sorry if I interrupt anyone who was going to share as well, but the question is, what does that club do, the American Marketing Club?
So I know that they work together with different marketing businesses within the area. That's all I know. That's all I really know too much about that club. But maybe someone else knows more.
I can add a little. So they have guest speakers who are either alumni or business partners to speak with them about their marketing careers. They have some field trips where they visit. They've visited a few places such as Fifth Third Field to see how marketing works there, both marketing by the Dayton Dragons minor league baseball team, but also how they sell marketing opportunities to businesses through the Dayton Dragons. The club, as was mentioned, is very active with the American Marketing Association, and that association guides them in a variety of activities as well. The guest speakers piece and the opportunities to visit businesses, that's a common feature to virtually every club in the college.
So one thing was very unique about the AMA chapter, the marketing club, is the Wright Brothers Day, and that was first established, and the students from the club truly did tremendous amount of work to have that established as a state holiday. So in the past year, it had changed a little bit to be part of the First Flight Festival, but in the beginning and also in the previous years, they were pretty much managed and run by the marketing students in the club. That was really significant.
And I'll also add, for all the different clubs and organizations, whether it's AMA or any student organization you're thinking of on campus, this is for the students in the group, that we use a platform called Engage. So if you're thinking about American Marketing Association or any of the different student clubs and organizations, you can use that platform to scope out and look at the different options available. And it'll have a contact person too listed, so if you want to speak with them first before you join up with the organization, you can get some more info and insight from them. So great questions from our students. Definitely keep submitting those questions and letting us know what you want to hear from our group here, our faculty and staff. So I want to also again turn to our faculty here and talk some more about the tips and the study information you have for students who are attending your classes. So we talked a little bit about that day in the life and that getting interaction. So the question really is, what do students need to know to be prepared for your classes, study time, and that sort of academic rigor that they're going to be expecting in your programs?
I could probably speak to this a little bit. This, of course, always depends, right? If you're the type of student who things come very easily and naturally to, I would say expect to spend 2 to 5 hours per course you're taking outside of the course studying and doing extra homework. The course I have the most students in is my Introduction to Finance course. All business students have to take this course, and they have homeworks every week. They have video lectures to watch. My assumption is that they're spending about 2.5 to 3 hours on my course. And then on exam weeks, you always want to get the highest score you can on an exam, and so you don't want to give up any study time. On exam weeks, you really need to tell your friends that, hey, I've got stuff coming up, I'm going to be studying, and really put in the effort, really put in 10 hours and get the highest marks you can on exams. I mean, that there's really no replacement for time. Everybody tries to figure out the best way, the fastest way to study and learn something, but that just does not work at a college level, especially in the upper level courses. You just need to do it, spend the time until you know or have mastered the material. So I would say most weeks are 2 to 3 hours, but some weeks are going to be as high as 10 for sure.
Yeah, I can follow up on that. Going back to that question about, day in the student life, I think it's the norm at Wright State. Many of our graduating seniors are taking at least 5 courses, and these are all the upper level courses, and these are capstone courses, which not everything is just exams, especially in management. We do tons of projects and papers, 10-page papers and things like that. So I think a good rule of thumb is for every 1 hour in class, 2 hours of prep outside. Obviously, I think in those finance classes, those exams are bigger, even law, right? A lot more studying, but the nature of the work shifts, I think, over time and across your major and in different courses. So that's something to keep in mind that, hey, even if you don't have a lot of exams in a class, you might have a lot of group projects and maybe a really big project. I had one class, they worked in global virtual teams for the whole semester, and it was a lot of work. So it was only a few exams, not even, but I mean, it was really, that was the main bulk of the class. So I think as you move up in your coursework, the assignments change a bit. There might be more group stuff. So taking that into account is important as well.
I'd like to add one thing for a lot of students, especially if you're working while going to school. You might face some pressure, depending on who your employer is, to make sure that you're flexible around their expectations for hours. But what I really want to remind all students of is that their time in college, especially in business school, should be thought of as the beginning of their career. So don't think of the beginning of your career as something that happens after you graduate. You really want to take your classes seriously and think of those as the beginning of your career. The better you do in your classes, regardless of what field they're in or what major you have, the better prepared you'll be for that first job. You'll get a better first job with better grades. You'll get promoted more quickly because you just understand the principles and basic concepts that are important to a career. So try to think of your time in business school as actually the beginning of your career, and make sure that that's your priority.
And so this is the question from a student as well, and I think there's 2 parts to this question. I think the question itself is, how easy is it to get help when struggling with schoolwork? Which I want to say for Wright State, it's very easy because we have a plethora of options. I think the second part of that question really is, what are the different options available for students to get help, whether that's tutoring or other options? And so I want to pitch that to the whole group because it covers pretty much everyone's area.
I have a couple of quick answers to that. Every professor I know has open office hours. They are not just, well, my hours are 11 to 12 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you don't come by then, I'm not going to meet with you. Genuinely, everyone I know will meet with a student whenever and for however long the student needs. I have personally met with one student 3 times a week for an hour and a half each session just to get them a D in finance, right? It's just, that's the attitude I think most professors have here. There are lots of other resources too. There's the Student Success Center. There are study coaches up there that you can access for free. You meet one-on-one or with a group, I believe, of 3. I'm not totally sure on how that works. And they have specific study coaches for different courses. A lot of departments will have TAs that will have open office hours where they can go in, and I can only speak to finance because I know one of our TAs is generally in the finance study office for, I don't know, up to 5 or 6 hours a week, and I have a lot of my students go in and do homeworks and work problems with them, as well as using the Student Success Center. So. And then your professor. So people are here and very interested in you succeeding and passing the classes.
I'd like to point out that a lot of students are very nervous about approaching their teachers and their professors. But Wright State is a place where you just don't need to be. And the students who really get over that hurdle and approach their faculty are much better off for it. They'll do much better in the classes. They'll find that they develop very good relationships with the faculty in the business school. And so, as you can see with Dr. Morris and Dr. Sturm here, they seem like, it's very easy to see that they seem very approachable. and they're the least approachable people here. No, just kidding. But ultimately, they're very typical of the faculty who are very involved and very happy to work with the students. And for many students, just a matter of getting over that nervousness about approaching a faculty member or visiting them in their office. And you really shouldn't be. So please take advantage of their willingness to work with you.
I'd also like to jump in here for a minute and piggyback on those things, because student success academics is a huge piece of it, of course, but there can be other issues that can get in the way of students doing their best. Sometimes they're personal, sometimes they're financial, sometimes they're emotional. Things happen while you're going to college. And we have an entire building devoted to student success with some highly trained individuals there. They work very closely with the academic advisors, with career advisors and career consultants, but there are resources available at no cost to students for whatever type of issue might be getting in the way if you're succeeding in those courses, in addition to the academics. It's one of the reasons I work at Wright State. I think it's the most student-focused institution I've worked in, and I think that's critically important.
Yeah, I just want to jump in as well and piggyback off a little bit off of everyone. So the Academic Success Center, it offers for 1,000 to 2,000 level classes a free hour of tutoring for every course that you're enrolled in. So say you're in 5 classes, that's 1 hour per class that you would be able to get tutoring. And I know that most of the tutors are more than willing to do more than that for the student, because they also want to see students succeed. But we do have a math learning center on campus where you don't have to have any appointment with anyone. You'll be able to jump right in and say, like, hey, I need help with this problem or these problems, and they would be able to assist you right away. They're trained students that have taken those classes and passed those classes themselves. Same thing with the writing center. They will not write your paper for you, but they will, if you come in with, a half-written paper, like, how am I doing so far before I get all the way done and realize, like, I'm completely off. They will be able to help you go through the grammatical errors and maybe some concepts as well. So they're absolutely awesome. And like Joyce has stated, there's a whole building for student success. So we take pride in that at Wright State.
Yeah, and if I could add to that, looks like the screen's freezing a bit. But yeah, we have a great counseling center. I have students every semester go and talk to the counselors. I have in one of my classes, one of the counselors come in and talk about stress and seasonal affective disorder and things like that. So I know students have found that really helpful. And also, like I said before, getting out of your comfort zone, your peers in class can be a great support. Even if you're more shy and introverted, find 1 or 2 people that seem to get what's going on. And if you miss class, you miss something, just shoot them an email. If you're not ready to talk to the faculty yet, or if it's a simple question you just want to ask another person in class, I highly encourage you to do that. The students at Wright State are phenomenal. They're hardworking, but laid back, approachable. So I think it's a really great environment for students to talk to each other as well.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for that great feedback, that great insight to all the different options students have, whether it's academic or those personal support networks that they need here at Wright State. With those opportunities and stuff, I want to go to Joanne with the next question, which is those other opportunities and those other unique values that are available in the Roger Soin College of Business that students don't necessarily find anywhere else in other business colleges. Can you explain what a student's going to gain from being here?
We do offer many unique opportunities for students. As was mentioned, many of our student clubs bring in speakers to talk to students, but also many of our classes in each of the majors will have business leaders come in and talk to students about their profession. Several of our majors also have a capstone class where students will work on a project for a local company, where students can also get that real world experience. As far as some of our events go, We have a Wright Mentor competition, which is modeled after the reality show Shark Tank. And it features student entrepreneurs making business pitches to potential investors. We also have a lift competition for our finance and financial services majors, where students can spend the day hearing about current issues and networking with regional leaders in those industries. We also offer a professional development day where students can network with potential employers from the region. So you can see we really go above and beyond the skills and the knowledge that you're learning in the classroom to also give you the opportunity to get that hands-on experience and network with employers in the region.
Awesome. And for the region, I think that's really important. For I think something I hear on the admissions side is ability to get internships that aren't available elsewhere. It's the ability to get that experience that doesn't exist in other degree programs that are so unique. Definitely, I think that that's great. Highlight that you get a really personal and valuable experience when you come to the Raj Soin College of Business. Next question, I want to sort of jump back to Riley on the student experience piece. You talked about your involvement in the types of things that you do in a daily life as a student. As a transfer student, can you provide that guidance to students on how you integrate into the school when you're not a first-year student?
Yeah, I think that's something that's actually really easy to talk about because it's really easy to get involved at Wright State in the integration process from another university, whether it be a larger university or maybe you're coming from a smaller institution. It's really easy regardless. Wright State's really open and inclusive, and that's in all facets, not just the College of Business. I think kind of holistically, Wright State's really good at, being a diverse and inclusive environment. So if you are a transfer student coming to Wright State, it's a really great option. Once you get here, it's very easy to make advising appointments. It's very easy to get started. They're really great at taking in coursework and trying to get as much credit as you can get possibly from the coursework you've previously taken. And our advising teams are really good about that. So I think this is really a good institution to definitely transfer from. And as a transfer student, I wouldn't really fret about trying to, become more involved or worry about the maybe infringements that are going to happen as a transfer student. It's a very easy and seamless process, and you'll get used to it. And honestly, maybe your first day, but if not within the first week, you really begin to get comfortable Wright State.
Great, thank you. So as we get closer to 6 o'clock, I just want to be mindful of everyone's time. I know Dr. Morris has a class he jumped off. So as we sort of get ready to wrap up here, I want to know if there's any sort of final last thoughts that the group has in general that they want to share with students and leave them with tonight. Whoever would want to, jump in and start that off first.
So I can start it off kind of from a student's perspective. I think the one thing I always voice to students when I talk to incoming freshmen or transfer students is to get involved as soon as you can. I know in the wake of all the, the weird stuff going on with the pandemic and whatnot, but, when we get back to campus in the fall, and I believe we will eventually get back and be back to normal, hopefully sooner rather than later, I think the best thing to do is get involved as much as you can, whether that be in a club in the College of Business or just general likings that you'd want to get involved in a club with, like video games or sports, or join Greek life, of all things. I think that's the one thing I always voice to incoming students is get involved because it makes college so much better. And that's the real difference I'd like to voice. There's a difference between classes and college, and that's what's really excites me about getting back to campus is when I'm on campus, I get to be in college and take classes, not just take classes. So that's the best thing about college is the actual experience. So do as much as you can.
I want to step in and ask Riley to just take a moment and describe why you think Wright State was a good fit for you, especially since you had started at a different university at first.
Yeah. So I started at Ohio State, and I can definitely say that wasn't the fit for me, but Wright State was definitely the fit for me just because of how easy it is to find yourself, I think, is a good way to put it. a lot of people, I mean, when you get to college, it's really a great time to kind of discover yourself as a person and what you're going to do in life. And I think Wright State is a very good environment to do that because it's very welcoming and it's very judgment-free almost. So that's the one thing I think that suited me well, is I was able to kind of bear down and realize what I really want to do and then kind of go get it. And that's Wright State gave me the environment to do that. So that's the biggest aspect of Wright State that I would share with anybody. And that's all across the board, not just in the College of Business. But the College of Business definitely was beneficial to me because that was my interest.
So
I can add.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's a quick comment just about, you know, you don't get these years back, right? Your age at this time, being able to study in this way, even though you're most likely going to be working, as so many Wright State students do, which is awesome and impressive. I mean, this is a special time, right? Getting your bachelor's degree, you know, eventually master's degree, whatever. I mean, this is a time to really come in with an open mindset, go with the flow. It's going to be difficult at times. Other times you're going to be completely elated and feel truly alive. So that's why I'd like to encourage you that this is a really special chapter in your life. You're taking this next step, which is awesome. I really want you to enjoy it, come in with an open mind, learn as much as you can. Because once it's done, I mean, unless you stay on top of your education, right, by reading books or attending seminars, I mean, this is it, right? So this really is a special time for you to soak in all these new ideas and really think about the world differently.
That's really great. Thank you. Joanne, I wanted to end with, if students want to connect in any other way, I know that a lot of those in-person events have been canceled. Can you share, though, how students can stay updated on what is happening for the College of Business in the future?
Well, they can visit our website. They can also email us at our rscob-admin@wright.edu email address. And we also reach out to students, both admitted students and prospective students who have inquired with us. And we also post a lot of things on our social media so that they can stay up to date with what's coming up, different events that we're having. So there are multiple ways. You know, we try to reach out to students, but they can also reach out to us and inquire about things, and we're happy to share with them everything we're doing.
Awesome. Thank you. And in general, if you're interested in anything that's happening at Wright State University, we have an events page. So if you go to wright.edu, you'll see an events calendar. Definitely click that and you can see everything that's happening for the university. From the admissions side, if you're interested in doing a tour and a virtual visit of campus, just check out wright.edu/visit. You can sign up for a virtual tour that is guided by one of our admissions ambassadors. So they virtually take you across campus and show you everything in their personal experience being a student on campus. If you haven't applied yet to Wright State, make sure you visit wright.edu/apply. The fee for applying is waived through June 1st, so you can use the code RAIDERUP2020. There's no spaces between the letters and numbers, so it's all one word together, RAIDERUP2020. You can do all caps or lowercase. Make sure you get your documents submitted, check your application portal frequently for anything that you need to do, next steps. And then if you have any questions to follow up with us, again, the contact information, if you want to send an email to admissions, is admissions@wright.edu. You can send an email to the academic advising office if you have a question about your courses. That's rscob-advisors@wright.edu. Or feel free to give either office a call. Again, like Jessica said at the beginning, our contact info is on those main pages, so definitely feel free to reach out to us with any follow-up questions you have. And I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. I'm going to stay on till the very end in case there's any final questions from anyone as everyone is left. But again, thank you everyone for joining us tonight, and have a great evening. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Lucas.